My next guest is known as Mr. Warmth, but only by those who don't know him. He is co-starring. He's got a special coming up with Don Adams, which airs this Saturday night. Coming Saturday, September the 8th at 9 p.m. Would that be 9 p.m. Eastern Time and 9 out here, I guess?
Right.
And on September...
I knew all of that when I had my show.
Oh, I see. Okay.
8 Central Time.
Yes, and on September 6th, he will be at Harrah's in Reno for two... Harrah's or Harrah's?
Harrah's.
Harrah's in Reno. Or at Reno's in Harrah. I don't care where he's...
Harrah's at Harrah's in Reno.
I personally don't care where he's going to be. Would you welcome Don Rickles? They must have seen your old act. That's right.
Milton Berle, 1927. Boom, boom.
Didn't you ever work lounges where the drummer did...
How about a little good evening? How's
Good
your
evening.
mother? How's your family? Anything?
All right, how is your lovely wife, Barbara, and your young child?
She dies Thursday.
No, come on. Hey, no, how is Barbara? We have not seen each other for some time.
First of all, why did you louse up all my jobs? Hey, you're on 10 years. He's got it made. By the way, the rodeo pony died.
Hi, I'm glad to.
Out here he comes out with, "Hi, folks. Gee, I want to sing my song. My mother climbing a mountain tower. Hallelujah, brother." In the back he's going, "Let's get broad." Anyway. No, not true. That's a joke. Glenn's happily married like I am. You've been married. I've been married. You've had a few mistakes. I've had only one shot at it. The golden gong, they call it. Ned, you're just perfect.
Well, if you're successful... If
You're going to be in court so long the judge is going to doze off. I'll tell you that.
Well, if you're as successful at marriages as you are at television shows, you've got a lot coming up, haven't you?
That's what they call jamming it to the big guy. Johnny, but see, that's the great secret about you and I, because people think, they always think, hey, if you're a sarcastic, attacking kind of guy like I'm not through yet, Glenn. I mean,
Before you start, I want to say something.
Sure, Glenn. Could you do me a favor?
You have been the most miscast person I have ever seen on television. If you could come out and do what you do here on the Tonight Show, you could have a top 10 show anytime in the week.
No, I think...
Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that could agree with you.
Provided they syndicate the life of Adolf Hitler,
right.
You mean?
No, really, I honestly believe that.
I'm sitting here like I'm Eichmann. Why am I sitting here like that? I'm sitting here like I'm in a glass booth and you're two Israelis voting on me. Don't vote on me. I'm doing all right, quietly. You do what you do. Come on, Benny Bob Jack. Come out and shoot fire. Right. Let this klutz do what he does, Hello,
Could you imagine seeing that every week? Wouldn't that be beautiful? That's the funniest man I've ever saw in my life. Yeah. I didn't see you doing that when you come in as the lawyer, baby, going, "Oh, yes, dear, we're going to be in the car in a moment," and you sit down. If you did that, that would be hilarious. That's fantastic. The guys agree with me.
You know what's scary? He's got you and I listening. Like a big klutz, he stood up. I mean, we go to parties together. He's in the corner going, "My brother died. My uncle came along. Mother Goose. Duck. Out here became a loud pain in the you-know-what.
You're going to say it? Don't get it out.
There goes the image right there.
God love you, Glenn. Hey, but no, here's the God's truth. When you kid around, and we do kid around a great deal, the whole thing of it is, you've been away. You've been gone for 2 weeks. You didn't know about it. You've been in Las Vegas. You go all over. You make jokes about Ed. He goes to Omaha. In fact, I met Ed up at the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and I said, "Ed, how are you?" He said, 8,000 people in Omaha. And I said, "Gee, Ed, you're so humble. Why don't you spit up in a bottle? Whatever that means. But, Ed, I know and you know that someday he can't live forever, and I saw the X-rays a week. And this will be your show, just like you wanted. 90 minutes of you. Just you sitting there going, oh, your Uncle Mike, your sister Kate. Doing all the Irish fight song, and once in a while to pick it up, you can bring on Harry Yo-Yo over here. Billy Bob Jack coming out of shooting. Where is your hometown, by the way?
DeLuise, Arkansas. Well, nobody's ever heard of DeLuise.
Yes, I do. I have an uncle that runs a manure pickup truck. Saturday night in Delight. Ah, come on. You got it all over me, Al. Delight. Gee whiz. Spit up, John, if you want. Big stars behind the desk. That's why you and the wife have trouble. Every time she wants to fool around you.
Did you hear the joke Buddy Rich told me last night backstage? Maybe I shouldn't do it on the air. I'll do it. Yeah, here's a word from United Airlines to make your next business trip more pleasant.
Good airline. We're up.
We are back now.
Here it is. Here's your stick. Sammy K said you won.
Thank you, So you want to leave town?
Good to see the guys in the band. They were all in my dressing room tonight saying, why is he back? Johnny, who was with Joe Venuti. Johnny is one of the big trumpet players. I spoke to the hospital. Your lip is gone. That's all inside stuff. But once in a while, John, like you said the other night, you missed the band. Now you...
I did miss the band.
Now you were on vacation.
I miss
you
hearing
didn't get up and say to your wife, I wonder what the trumpet player is doing.
Not in exactly that phraseology.
No, don't lie. Be honest. You told me you could care less what they do.
Well...
You don't get up in the morning and worry if Doc Severinson's horse is going to spit up grass or hit the fence. You're a millionaire. You just sit in your room in the nude and go...
Now, you shouldn't say that. You see, people get the wrong. You say, I'm a millionaire.
Well, you are a millionaire.
I'm not a millionaire.
Close. Well, you got a lot of money. You got a big house. I don't want to mention where, because last time I did, there was trouble.
That's right.
I tell you, anybody that's listening in has a little two-room apartment in Encino. Think they bought that?
Well, you live up in Beverly Hills. Hey, we got to show these outtakes before we get too far behind. You got this show coming up with Don Adams called A Couple of Dons.
May I say one thing? Don and I working together. Well, it'll go away.
Yes.
Pills make it go down.
That's right.
Look at this, the chocolate soldier. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Now, what I want to say is that Don Adams and I, the uncanny thing about it is this man makes me laugh when he says hello, and we enjoy each other. September 8th, I think, personally, Joseph Scandori, not only my manager, but for the first time in my life, I said, Joe, you take charge. Do what you feel. If you think it's funny, let's make it go. So we took a shot, and I think it's the best thing I've done. And Don, I can speak for Don, too, because we really worked hard on it. But looking at each other, we really break up and enjoy each other, as I do with you many times. You know that. I'm being very sincere about it. And I feel a little different about you. You, I want to marry. But I think the film will be self-explanatory.
Yeah, they're just some little things,
it's good word,
what they call outtakes.
Yeah, Freddie DeCoverta, the producer, went, self-explanatory? Look that up, Al.
Watch the monitors in the studio. This is self-explanatory.
Don't be a wise guy.
Oh.
This is Don and Don opening 141, a couple of Dons.
Pretty exciting, huh?
It is. You know, it's nice.
All out of
25.
applause. Nice.
You let me talk? 25 years.
I was waiting for you. I don't know what you were looking for.
Okay, I'm looking for the dumbbell that's standing there going, where do I go with the card? 25 years, seriously. 25 years we're friends, and we finally got our own special. And I think that's exciting.
Could I talk?
Yes, sure.
Okay. What did you just say?
I said 25 years, our own special. What, did we lost
again,
some lines?
right?
Did we really? Oh, okay.
What
does it say?
12 lines.
What does it say?
I was.
Let me read it. The following names will come up here and be taken away.
Like to see it later.
I'll tell the warden that you want to come and use my bathroom. Can we take that from the top? Because that wasn't really good. You don't know anything, I swear to God. I'll try to do it right. Raise the malaria screen. I mean, you saw that. He got it all loused up. I was rolling, right, Ma? The old lady keeps going, Okay. Remember this?
Why don't we have that on the show?
Because America doesn't want humor. They want to see Dinah Shore cook.
Well, they're funny.
That should be part of it.
You know, that's so true what Glenn said. You know, you say that should be part of it. Because,
I've suggested to Bob for years, Bob Hope, when he comes on with the outtakes, I says, why doesn't somebody ever make
Can
a
I
show
ask you something, John?
of just of the breakups
Why is
in a
that?
rehearsal?
Why do networks feel, and sometimes they feel, the talk that we understood is that half the world will not really be in on the in when you make mistakes.
If you set it up in between. I think it would make a heck of an interesting show.
We have in our show, we have some things that are mistakes that come out funny, but I genuinely someday would love to do an hour of just outtakes.
You could.
If that could happen.
It'd be a great show. I don't know how you'd have to clear all the
Right, it's a lot of
actors and so forth.
We were working with some chickens and goats and, you know.
Glenn has a sophisticated show.
I'm sure. No, and Burt Reynolds is doing this serious talk. And in the background, you're just, you know. And the guy, you know, and I couldn't understand why they were there in the first place. I said, why they got the chickens and the goats back there? Anyway, we had 15 outtakes of that. And Biddle, you know, and Reynolds turned around and said, I think the goat's in heat, guys. What, you know.
Great story, Glenn.
We'll be right back after this word about
I didn't have the nerve to
Budweiser,
bring
the king
mine
of beers. It's stopped, yeah. My next guest I'm going to bring out. Not because you don't have many fascinating stories, but I don't want to get too far behind time.
You've got some great people. Jimmy Breslin and this guy, I think it's Dom you bring.
Dom is,
He's a beautiful guy. He finally came into his own, and I'm happy.
Everybody in our business, and I think everybody who's seen Dom, he's a most likable guy. He's not only funny, but he's also a good actor, which is a great combination.
And a good human being. He really is.
And he has a new show called Lots of Luck, which premieres on NBC next Monday, September the 10th, at 8 o'clock. Would you welcome Dom DeLuise?
Hello, everybody. Oh, you know, it's been a fantastic show. Hasn't it, Don? Hasn't it been a wonderful show?
I'm watching Glenn.
Oh. No, it was in fact, John, I mean, I have never seen anything as amusing as the outtakes. We were going to show outtakes from our show, but we didn't make that many mistakes. I've been thinking oh, it's hard. You know, it's hard to come out and, hello. I feel I should deal with him. He's like a, you know.
That's not true.
I know, and I'm here to defend myself.
Since we know each other, it's the truth. I said hello to him at NBC, and a man, you know, thinks it's a prison break, you know.
But he follows me in the halls now.
Yes.
How'd you get a show?
That's the truth. Yes, Sam Denoff and Bill Persky, and they wrote for me, and, you know, I went in the clunker, you know. Story of my life. I keep trying, and the network hooks up a wet wire and waits for a storm, you know. But this guy, he's going to walk in now, and he's got a hit. Joe Byrne, who was one of the executives at NBC. You'll see him in the hall with a broom going, Good. But Joe Byrne is one of...
I've talked with some of the people, some of the things you've already made, and they say they're hysterical. And
I've been very lucky.
I hope it's a smash.
We really have.
It's a business of luck. Right. Who cares? I don't care what you do.
Ken, do you want to give us any... Is it bad luck to tell what the first episode is about, or do you like to discuss it?
I don't know if it's bad luck or not. I'm going to take a
big question, huh?
I took a chance coming out here with him.
Absolutely.
Is it really bad luck, John?
You always take a chance when you come out with him, I'll tell you that.
What is wrong with you tonight? I never saw you like this. Drink your milk and go to bed. Man's bananas. He was a humble cowboy.
I heard these lines on Pat Boone when I was at the lounge into Sahara, and I laughed so hard I couldn't believe it.
Well, it's Dom's spot. Jump in.
Dom, you want to tell us about the first episode?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm afraid to mention it, but I'm going to mention it because actually NBC finally has admitted that people use bathrooms, toilets. Okay? Right. And that's what our first episode is about that. When I got the script, see, Carl Reiner, Bill Persky, and Sam Denoff, hello, sent me this stuff. And I said, it's all about a toilet. And my sister, Olive, played beautifully by Beverly Sanders, by the way, gets her foot caught in our toilet. Aren't you going to say anything?
No, it's...
Just going to keep talking. Okay.
No, it's interesting.
And we have to buy a toilet.
It's interesting.
It is?
Yeah, I got news. Hey, you got to believe in it. I mean, if this is an idea of what America's going to do, we're in trouble. You better come out with a seat around your neck and pretend you're a peppermint.
I saw that. I saw you shooting that episode, and it's
Did you
very
really?
funny. That's very funny.
Yeah.
I did.
I know, and it is.
I did see that.
It is. We've been very lucky, you know. We really
Stop
have.
saying lucky. You're talented. Why do you keep selling yourself down the river? You're talented, right, Roy?
He's very, very, very... Anyway, we got terrific people. Kathleen Freeman plays my mother, and she's wonderful. We got Win Irwin, plays my brother-in-law, who has not worked in 4 years. He's fantastic. And Jack Knight plays my best friend. Is he still there? Yes. You know, I told him.
I've heard he was lonely, Don.
In the commissary, I went over and said hello to him, and I said hello. And he says, "Get away from me," you know. And the whole commissary drops. Forks were dropping everywhere.
You know what he says? Can I tell you?
What?
Calmly. You know.
Calm as
that
I
you
can.
always walk up to me.
Yes.
And we've known each other a lot of years.
A long time.
And he walks up to me in the commissary. Now, John, you know that's the kiss of death. In this NBC commissary, the food alone.
Wait, I got to tell you, the food. Wait. In other words, everybody in the building has lunch at the same time, so the room is rather crowded. Every table is filled with people talking in this tone of voice and saying, "Well, I don't know. It seems like it's going to rain." They're taking little things out of their eyes. It's quiet, you know. Okay. So then I go up to him. Okay.
Tell me. I'm eating and tell exactly.
And
what
I came up and I said, "Would you like to insult me?" Is what I said to him.
And I turned around and said, "Don, will you leave me alone? I'm with people. How do I know if the show's going to be a hit? Go away!" Don't get Roy steamed. That's right. There's humor in that. That's why you're from the Midwest standing around on the highway going, "You think this pimple will go away?" You're great, Ed. Just sit there on the end like a big log waiting to go downriver.
Does your wife deal with you on this level, or are you...
We have 2 kids, so she...
What was that?
He was on one of the rides at Disneyland.
Who do you suspect?
They're rolling, Roy.
Speaking of
Midnight Cowboy had the right guy.
Watch this segue. Speaking of wives, see, my job is to tie all this together and make some kind of order out of this chaos. That's the idea of a host
you're
here.
The chairman.
That's right. Now, you've been working long hours.
I work a lot of hours. I work 9 to 7, 9 to 10. That's a lot of hours for me.
Poor baby. You never worked that long in your life.
Drop it now, Harry.
When I met him, he was at the gate at NBC going, "You got a Buick?" Now he's worried about the hours. Go ahead now.
I don't see.
But does this affect your home life at all?
Yes.
We got to get him back to the corral. For a bed check or something.
No, you told me the story. Tell me what you told me.
Oh, if I could remember.
What's the funny?
I get the feeling we're at a roundup.
What's the funny story, Don?
No, I'm not sure if that's right. I'll have to ask him what I said. But I don't see her so much, my wife.
Your wife, of
because I
course.
work long hours, as I said about a couple of minutes ago. And what happens is we have to make the time precious. We have to double up, is what it is. Get it! Anyway, what was the story that I told you that was so good?
Keep taking the beating.
You were too tired.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a state home for cowboys?
That's true. Sometimes, no, John, now seriously.
I know what you
get
mean with those hours.
that sometimes, when I work hard and long,
Yes.
it isn't. No, really. Sometimes I'm very tired, and I get so tired that I'm not so romantic.
That's true. That's the problem when you have your own show.
Right, so I have to take little naps during the day.
Your wife must be a busy beaver, I'll tell you. My wife just lays on the bed and goes, "You got a minute?"
Well, she certainly knows your staying power, I'll tell you that.